Welcome back, fourth graders. Today we're going to be working with subtracting with regrouping. Regrouping used to be called borrowing, but we now refer to it as regrouping because we firmly understand that one, borrowing means giving back and we're not giving anything back. And then two, regrouping basically means that we're going to our next highest place value, breaking that down so that we can get whatever we need. Our first problem is going to be 5,707 minus 2,596. I've written this problem horizontally so that we could practice writing it more vertically or up and down. Notice two things. One, I didn't write the comma. You don't actually need to put your comma when you're actually doing your math work. And two, notice that I've spread out my digits. I like the digits to be spread out if I am rewriting the problem so that I have enough space and I don't get confused in terms of what's being subtracted where. I always start subtracting in my smallest place value. In this case, it would be the ones. My highest place value is the thousands. So I'm always going to start, no matter what, in my smallest place value, which again is the ones. This question right here is going to be our key question every time we subtract. And it says, if I have blank, do I have enough to take away blank? We're going to fill those blanks with numbers. So here we go. If I have 7, do I have enough to take away 6? Well, if I have 7 pencils, can I take away 6 pencils? Yes. Since my answer is yes, I just go ahead and subtract. Now, it's very tempting to put 7 fingers up and then count backwards or put 6 fingers down, but we're actually going to do what's called counting on. Talked about this in our last video. We're going to pound our fist and say 6, and then we're going to move our fingers the number of times it takes us to get to 7. So 6, 7. I have one finger up, so 7 minus 6 is 1. Easy enough. Now I move on to my tens. Once again, I use my prompt. If I have 0, do I have enough to take away 9? And the answer to that is no, I definitely do not have enough. Matter of fact, if I have 0, I don't have any that I can possibly take away. So that is why we are going to go to our next highest place value of the hundreds. We have 700s. We're going to take 100 away and break it down. And this is where we ask ourselves, how many tens do I have in 100? Think of it as money. How many $10 bills do I have in 100? Well, I have 10. If so, I'm going to break down my 100 into 10 tens. I have no tens. Now I have 10 tens. I ask myself my question again. If I have 10, do I have enough to take away 9? The answer is yes, I do. So I bang my fist and say 9, 10. I have one finger up again. Now I move on to my hundreds. In my hundreds, I have 600s. Go back to my question. If I have 6, do I have enough to take away 5? And the answer is yes, I do. So I subtract. 5, 6. I have one finger up again. I'll move on to my thousands. If I have 5 or if I have 5,000s, do I have enough to take away 2,000s? Yeah, I sure do. 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 3 fingers up, so I end up with 3 or 3,000. Once I put in my comma, my final answer is 3,111. Our next problems are already set up for us vertically, but we're still going to use the exact same process. I'm always asking myself, if I have blank, do I have enough to take away blank for each of my place values? So if I have 6, because we're starting with our ones, working our way to our thousands. If I have 6, do I have enough to take away 9? And no, I'm actually short, so I can't. I don't have enough. So that means I'm going to have to go and regroup. Because remember, if I have 6, do I have enough to take away 9? The answer is no, so I have to regroup. I go to my tens place. I had one set of 10. I'm going to take that. Now I have 0 sets of 10. because we're going to move it over here to the ones. If I have a set of 10 that I'm breaking down into ones, you're asking yourself, how many $1 bills are there in a $10 bill? Well, there are 10. If I already have six $1 bills and then I add 10 to it, I now have 16 $1 bills. So my problem is 16 minus 9. We're not going to try to count backwards. We're going to count up. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 7 fingers up, so 16 minus 9 gives me 7. Now let's move on to our tens place. I had one 10, now I only have 0 tens. If I have 0 or 0 tens, do I have enough to take away 4 or 4 tens? I do not. So I'm going to move on to my hundreds. Oh, in my hundreds, I have no hundreds. If I don't have any hundreds, then there's nothing for me to break down. I'm going to move on to my next highest place value, which is thousands. I take my 3,000 and I take 1,000 away. So now I had 3,000, so I'm going to have 2,000. How many hundreds are there in 1,000? Meaning, how many $100 bills are there in 1,000? Well, there are 10. Since I have 0 here, I now have 10. 10 $100 bills. I actually at this point have enough to give to my tens place. I'm going to take one of my $100 bills, so now I have $900 bills instead of $1,000 bills. And how many tens are there in 100? Well, there's 10. So my 0 tens becomes 10 tens. I go back to my questions. If I have 10, do I have enough to take away 4? The answer is yes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 6 fingers up. I go on to my hundreds. If I have 9, do I have enough to take away 8? The answer is yes. So I subtract 8, 9. I have 1 finger up. My answer is, well, let me do my thousands first. If I have 2, do I have enough to take away 2? Yeah, I do. And I end up with 0. My final answer is 167. Let's look at our next problem. 7,503 minus 3,598. It's already set up vertically for us. We're going to start over here with our ones because we always start with our lowest place value. If I have 3, do I have enough to take away 8? The answer is no. If I only had 3 pencils, I can't take away 8 pencils. They don't exist yet. So I'm going to go over to my tens place. Oh, just like with our last problem, I have an issue. I don't have any tens. So we have to go to our next highest place value, which happens to be our hundreds. I do have 5 hundreds, so I'm going to take away 100, so now I'm left with 4 hundreds. I'm going to take that $100 bill and I'm going to break it down into $10 bills. How many $10 bills are in a $1,000 bill or in 1,000? Well, there's 10. I had 0. 0 plus 10 is 10. I now have some tens. If I go back to my ones place, if I have 3, do I have enough to take away 8? I know the answer is no, so I have to regroup. So I go back to my tens. Oh, I now have some tens, so that's working out for me. Take a set of tens away. I have 9 tens now. How many $1 bills would you need to make up a $10 or $10 or a $10 bill? That would be 10. 10 plus 3 gives me 13. I've just regrouped. 13 minus 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Because I'm counting up. I have 5 fingers. 13 minus 8 is 5. Now let's go to our tens place. That problem is going to be 9 minus 9. If I have 9, do I have enough to take away 9? Yeah, I do. And I'm left with nothing. 0. I move on to my hundreds place. If I have 4, do I have enough to take away 5? And the answer to that is no, I do not have enough. I'm actually short some. So I'm going to go get some from my thousands place. I had 7,000s, now I have 6,000s. How many hundreds make up 1,000? Well, that's 10. I already had 4. 10 plus 4 is 14. So now I have 1,400 minus 500. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 9 fingers up. So 14 minus 5 equals 9. And then last but not least, in my thousands place, I have 6,000s. Take away 3,000s, or 6 minus 3. That leaves me with 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 fingers up, 3,000. My final answer is 3,905. Our last problem is 3,000 minus 2,780. As we're looking at this problem, we notice right off the bat, I have a lot of zeros in my number that I'm taking from, or my whole. But I'm still going to ask the same questions. I started my ones place. I never, ever, ever started my highest place value. I always started my lowest place value. For this problem, my lowest place value is the ones. The ones place, the problem says, if I have 0, do I have enough to take away 0? And the answer to that is yes, of course. I end up with 0. I will go to my tens place. If I have 0, do I have enough to take away 8? And the answer to that is, it is no. So I'm going to regroup. I go to my hundreds. I don't have any hundreds, so I'm going to go to my thousands. I had 3,000s. I now have 2,000. I'm going to break my 1,000 up, the 1,000 that I'm taking. I'm going to break it up into hundreds. How many $100 bills do you need to make $1,000? Well, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 900, 1,000. I need 10. I have 0. Now I have 10. That doesn't help me just yet because I still need to figure out what to do to get some tens, though. I have hundreds. I have 10 hundreds, but I need to get some tens. So once again, we're going to look right here and say, let me break down, or let me regroup one more time. I'm going to take my hundreds, 100 to be specific, and I'm going to break it down into tens. How many tens are there to make 100? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. There's 10. I have 0. Now I have 10. And because I already subtracted my ones, I'm done right now. Now I just need to ask some questions. If I have 10, do I have enough to take away 8? 8? And the answer is yes, I do. So 8, 9, 10. I have 2 remaining. And then my hundreds place, if I have 9, do I have enough to take away 7? Yes, I do. 7, 8, 9. 2 remaining again, 2 fingers up. And my last but not least, I have, if I have 2 or 2,000, do I have enough to take away 2,000? Yeah, I do. I end up with 0. So my final answer, or the difference, is 220 as my answer. That is how you subtract with regrouping. This question here is going to be your guiding star every time. If I have blank, do I have enough to take away blank? And you're just asking that question over and over and over again for each place value. This seems like a very, very confusing way to do subtraction because we're used to just crossing things out and kind of hoping for the best. But if you ask this question for every place value, it will become more and more easy for you to just automatically ask yourself that question and then make the necessary regroupings. Hope this video helps. See you next time.